we got a chilly one today. It's probably not even that cold, but I think it's in the 40s. And I'm a Florida boy now, so I'm not cut out for this. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what we got going on here today. Our customer here today has that roof line corner coming right into this part. They've got water in that last hurricane that was just pooling here. It's like a big fishbowl right here in this corner, and they had some water intrusion they're worried about along this side of the house right here. Makes sense. The yard kind of does slope to right here except for off the sides, and then they've got this rock area right here that kind of helps hold that water in place, so we need to get it out of here. What we're going to be doing, step one, is trenching this out, then we're going to put down Drylock. Drylock is a rubberized waterproof paint, seals any cracks, any hairline cracks. If there's any larger holes, we'll use something a little bit different, but we'll get to that if we need to do that. Once that dries, we're going to trench the rest of the way. We're going to be putting in a French drain, just the easy flow drain, because we only got about 10 feet right here. So that's going to be perforated pipe, lets water soak into that pipe, and we'll switch it to solid pipe and carry that down here to a pop-up emitter. That way we have a drainage system in place. We are sure that that is going to be completely waterproofed with that Drylock. So I'm gonna go ahead, unpack everything, and we'll get to it. Alrighty. I always like to trench with 2 shovels here whenever I show up on jobs. We use a regular standard shovel, and then I like a 5-inch trencher. These help speed up the process a lot because we run 4-inch pipe, which gives just enough space when we trench to drop that pipe in. When we're running perforated pipe, it's the same width as the standard shovel. Go ahead, start in the low spot. Typically we remove the sod first. There isn't a ton of sod right here to worry about, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this trenched out first.
12 seconds later.
You guard dog?
Yeah, thank you.
Are you looking for work? Do you want to come dig with us? We'll give you treats. Put you on the payroll. This kind of stuff is when you want to use perforated pipe. When you have real nice fine soil. When you have hard clay, water sits on the top. You want to run solid pipe with catch basins. I'll go ahead and include a link here for a video like that, where when you start digging, if you've got real bad soil and it's really dense, you want to use a different pipe, a little bit different of a method. Alright, time is 9:15. We've been here right under an hour. We've got all this perforated line where we're going to come back and seal, trenched out and ready to go. Now we are trenching this 4-inch line where we're going to run solid pipe, and safe to say it's just really solid pipe, or solid ground. I know it looks like sand, but there's some aggregate in there and it's kind of solidified, so we're going to take this guy just the little vibrations from the hammering right there softens it up quite a bit. Before we trench that out and spend time doing that, we'll go ahead and wash down these edges here and get off any of that sand, dirt, anything that might be on the edges here. Basically bring it back just to a clean aggregate. That way it can dry and we can get to painting it. You can see how quickly that sand takes in all that water. See it all pooling down there? And in seconds it just absorbs right below. Now that we've got that foundation washed, cleaned up, and it's dried, trenched out the rest of this line for that 4-inch, where we're going to come out to a pop-up emitter. So we're going to go ahead, get that Drylock out, and get that edge painted. Alright guys, this is what we are working with. This is Drylock Extreme. It's the white, it's paintable, so don't worry about that. Also, 90% chance it's going to be below grade of the ground, so you're not going to see the color anyways, and that will not matter. But it's paintable if it is This Drylock Extreme is just a waterproof rubberized paint. It has a 15-year lifespan on it, obviously depending on how much rain, abrasion, stuff like that, what you're putting against it. If it's gravel, and it's going to erode it faster, but on standard it's about a 15-year life span. If you have any hairline cracks, this will paint right over it. It'll waterproof it and seal it perfectly. If you get down to your foundation, wash it off, and see that there's cracks maybe larger than a hairline crack, say 2 hairline cracks or anything larger, you're going to want to go with Drylock hydraulic cement. This is a little bit thicker of a base, so you can apply that in any holes that are tiny, any cracks, chunks that might be missing. This stuff is great, dries super fast, so address those and apply this before your Drylock and let that dry. If you need to actually patch any parts, say a whole chunk fell off, maybe you are just like the hole and you knocked a big chunk off with the shovel, or you see a big hole in there, get some ready cement, seal that up and give that time to dry. Clearly make sure everything has time to dry before you paint and do the next coat and the next level and then bury it. Super important, because whenever you throw the pipe in and the dirt on there, it's going to stick to that paint and it'll pull it off the foundation. So those are the 3 products I recommend. There's tons of products out there. These are just what we use. They're easy to access. You can get them at Home Depot, Lowe's, any standard stores like that. And this stuff goes a long way. We just buy these giant jugs because we do a lot of them, and our storage unit's filled up with them. You can roll it on, you can paint it with the brush on. I like to paint it with the brush, unless we have a perfectly clean foundation that just looks immaculate, which is super rare because we're in Florida and contractors here are not immaculate, including myself. So I'm gonna go ahead, take these back there, shake them up, get started. You can see how thick this stuff is. Stir it up real good. Whenever these cans sit for a while in the store, they kind of separate. That thick layer will be on the bottom. You'll get a thinner layer on top, so make sure you stir them up real well. These things are super handy if you haven't used them, the handy paint pails. They got a little magnet for your brushes, so you're not dropping the brush in there or finding a place to set it. And when you're in a tight space down by the foundation, fill these up and you can just walk with it and slap on that paint. Just painted it on, take your time, make sure you get up under there. Little trick, if you think you might be missing a spot, you can't get your head down in there, stick your phone or your camera down there upside down. That way you can see if you missed any spots. We've got it all completely covered though, so I'm gonna let that dry out. In the meantime, I am gonna run this 4-inch pipe and get it prepped to connect to that perforated pipe. Alright, now as far as pipe goes, for a job like this, whenever you're on the foundation like that, if you've got nice soil, make sure it's some kind of perforated pipe. Perforated pipe is just pipe with little slits in it. This one is the Easy Drain made by NDS. You can get it at big box stores. On a short distance like this, that's the easiest, cheapest thing to do, rather than lay fabric, get drainage rock, get a perforated pipe, more rock, wrap it up like a burrito. This is just so much quicker, labor-wise, cheaper for us. So we opt for that. Once you switch to solid pipe to carry it out where you're going to, you can use a PVC pipe like Schedule 40 or SDR 35, or you can use a 4-inch corrugated solid pipe like this. Whatever you do, don't use the Easy Flex, the stuff that's got kind of the angles to make turns and stuff. That's really, really weak stuff. This corrugated pipe is perfectly fine. We use this on all kinds of different drainage applications. It's the best bang for the buck, especially on a simple setup like this. If you're going to be driving big tractors, zero-turn mowers, something like that where you need more strength and longevity, look at the SDR 35 or Schedule 40. But I'm just going to drop this in here like that. Alright, so we got that perforated pipe in, slowly sloping down towards this. We've got this black corrugated pipe, which we're going to connect to that perforated pipe, and we will run it down to a pop-up emitter. Alright, so down here, guys, you can see we got a pop-up emitter. right here that I just connected with a screw. You can use tile tape if you have a lot of roots around. Same thing right here. Just fit that corrugated pipe into the other one, tap it with the screw, and you're good to go. Once we get all this soil back on there and it settles, that pipe's not coming apart. Screw's really just to hold it in the meantime until that happens. Alright, so now that we got that pipe in the ground, we're just backfilling. We're taking all of our dirt that we exposed from the ground and putting it back on top. Once you put it on top, go ahead and just use your body weight, step it back down, and then you can go ahead and put that sod down. Now this sod isn't very lively, as a lot of the houses we're doing more in the newer establishments in Wesley Chapel and whatnot, where they've got good St. Augustine. It's a little dry, but nonetheless, stop on those after just to break up those roots. We'll come through here and water this whole thing, help break down all that soil in those root systems so they can get back to growing. Alright, so I want to show you guys the start of this real quick. What we're doing here is a 6-inch catch basin. It's a one-way catch basin with what's called an atrium grate lid. This atrium has more height than a normal flat lid that normally goes on catch basins, and the purpose is to let more air and water into that so that system flows a lot faster. Alrighty, we are backfilled completely. Did leave this section back here a little bit lower than the grass around it. We want water to enter the system. That's why we made it a little bit lower. We're going to add fabric now and then put some rock on. That way that water can drain through nice and quick. And we're able to grade this whole slope better towards that catch basin. That's where most of the water is going to come into. It's also an access point to clean it out in the future. But the bulk of water will go there. Everything else will settle under and get into that perforated pipe. So if we can have a nice tight slope going down to that catch basin, we're going to have the most water flow. Go ahead, cut, and we'll be good to start bringing that rock out. We got a little bit of landscape edging just to hold this rock in there, make it easier when they are cutting grass. And we're good to start laying rock. Normally we have our rock yard that we go to for bulk rock. We're only doing about 1 foot by 10 foot, so bags is plenty fine. But if you're doing a large area, say 15 foot by 2 foot, pushing 30 to 50 square foot, I'd look at rock yards for better deals on rock. To do is just come through, rinse off that rock in the walls. You can see we got a little bit of dirt on them. Kind of hard to tell until you start rinsing them. We just want to make sure we let a clean job site, as clean as we can for unearthing the ground and installing a French drain. The way these pop-ups work, water just floats out of here, lifts up, looks kind of like a mushroom, and water just flows out all around it. Helps prevent erosion rather than just shooting it out. And it closes automatically. That way you don't get any critters, snakes, frogs, rats, anything going up inside of the system. Alright guys, that's that for that job. I'll go ahead and help the guys out at the other job because we got rained out yesterday, so them three are working on another one. They finished their first job this morning and then went back to work at the other one. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys learned something. This was a pretty simple project, but the same standard goes for a larger job. We do whole houses, the perimeters just like this. If you guys don't have good slope in your yard and you can't use a gravity system like we did, go ahead, check out our videos on sump pumps. We've got a playlist that's just sump pump installations. Basically, we build small gravity systems like that, feeding into a sump system, which then pumps the water up and out. Don't be afraid. They're not hard to do. Hardest thing we do is the labor. It's the digging. The knowledge behind everything terribly intricate for 90% of these jobs. It's just the sweat equity that goes into it that gets a little difficult sometimes. But I love it. So thank you guys for watching. Go ahead, like and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions. And check us out, TampaDrainDudes.com. We service the Tampa area and everywhere surrounding pretty much. I'm blanking out. Hope I said subscribe. Support our small business. Thanks. See you guys in the next one.